Okay. We don't live.
This is department store. We provided all things related from grocery stores.
Right. Okay. Very good. And that do you have? Did you get any scholarship from Troy University?
Yes, Troy give me a 50% scholarship.
50% scholarship. So that knocks down your. That's for your tuition. So that and the living expenses.
Yes.
Yeah, both it covers. So half of that. Okay, so $14,000 scholarship.
No. Only scholarship for educational tuition fee.
Okay,
Not,
for the
not
tuition
hostel
fee.
fee.
So $5,000 scholarship.
Like 18,000. For the 50%, which is 9,000.
$9,000 a year scholarship. So that's a good scholarship, Ganesh. So, and then tell me that do you have any savings?
Yes, my brothers set fixed deposit
Yes.
like 40,000 US dollar in Sanima Bank, which is purpose for my study.
Okay. Do you have documentation to prove that?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you bring that with you today? You will. Okay. Yes. Okay. And then do you have any land holdings?
Yes, I have a land like in Nepali, like four like 8-9 ropanis.
Okay.
Like this, I don't know what called in
Yeah,
English in
different
ropani.
measurement. Yeah, so many acres of land, say
Yes.
in English, or hectares and yeah, but we say acres.
Just like 6-7 hectares of land in our
Okay.
family.
Very good. And did you have any student loan from the bank?
No,
All right. And so so you, your father, your brother, and your family will help you. Okay. And please.
My father also farmer, and he looks farming
Yes.
nowadays, and
Yeah.
my farm is little, but my farm helps me for my studies.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And then, okay, tell me, have you ever visited the U.S. before?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That have you ever committed any crime?
No.
Have you ever been addicted to drugs or alcohol?
No. I don't like drugs or alcohol.
Okay. Very good. And are you married?
No. I am unmarried.
Okay. Do you have any relationship going on?
No.
Okay. And then, do you have any family or relatives in the U.S.?
No, my family and relatives are not in US.
Okay. That are you planning to work in the U.S.?
No, I planned for only my studies.
What are you planning to do after you graduate?
I come back in my country and I get best best job in our country.
Okay, very good. And then Ganesh, tell me, why should I give you a visa today?
Because I have I have I'm very enthusiastic person and very interesting for uh, study in US, and I want to learn American educational system.
Yeah.
So you give me visa, and I want to grow specialist in this field in our country. So I think you give me a visa.
Okay, all right. All right, based on the answers to the questions today, Ganesh, I'm happy to give you your visa. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go back through it together. Yeah. So again, the U.S. is concerned that they want very good students, and so you need to have a good GPA and show that your academics are strong, so that you can handle the U.S. University courses. And then number two, that you need to to make sure that your English is strong, that you can understand the officer on every question he asks you, and that the officer can understand you completely, that you're very fluent in your English, and your pronunciation is good, and your grammar is good, and your vocabulary is good. And so when he hears that, then he gives you a plus point on that. And then you want to make sure your finances are well in order. And so you have all the documentation for your academics and your finances in a separate file. And so that's your secondary documents. Your first file will be your passport, your visa appointment letter, and your letter from the university. And so those things will be in your clear, so you can pull it out quickly. And the others you'll not need to show them, but they will ask you, do you have documentation to show this? And so you should have that. You can just say plainly, yes, I do, sir, or yes, I do, ma'am. Okay, so you've got that, and so then they're looking number 4. Make sure again, number 3, that you have all your finances completely documented, that you're well able to cover all of your university expenses completely, that you're not going to have to look for work. In the past, that university students, when come from other countries to the U.S., they would drop their studies, pick up a job, and begin working illegally and living illegally, overstaying their visas, and taking a U.S. citizen's job from them because they were willing to work for less pay. So what this did was it created a great outcry that no, you can't let the students work, and you must be strict about this. So now that the U.S. government is strict about it, so when you come to the U.S. to study, it's for study only, not to work. And you must have your finances completely in place to cover all of your education. And so this is very important. And then that being said, that if you have that in place, the officer is convinced that you do have that, then he is happy to give you your visa. The 4th point you need to make sure about is you're applying to a reputable university or college. That's the college that has a good name, has a good ranking, has a good department in the department you're wanting to study. So this is just a really important thing as well. So they're going to ask you again what university and what program of study, and they're going to be thinking when you mention what university it is. Have I ever heard this university before? And is it a reputable university or college? So that's so important to have that. Okay, so let's go back to the thing about number 1, academics, that you need to, again, if you have time and you can take additional courses like computer courses, and then those things will be very helpful for you. Again, computers will be helpful the rest of your life, and then it will be helpful as the officer sees that you're studying, continuing your studies, your courses that will help you in your further studies. And then number 2, your English. You need to work steadily to improve your English. You're applying for the U.S., so every day watch the U.S. news videos, and watch, if you're a female, watch female broadcasters. If you're a male, watch male broadcasters. And those and as you're doing that, you're picking up the vocabulary, picking up the grammar, the pronunciation, the style, the culture, the issues going on in America, the news, latest things, and so these things are very, very valuable for you. And so you're learning how to pronounce the words in the American way, and you're learning how to communicate with the American style. And so this is very important. Watch the U.S. news every day. And you watch, for instance, that the broadcaster says today there's been a train crash in Cleveland, Ohio. And so you pause it, and with your mirror, you say the same way that the news broadcaster said it, you say it in your mirror. There's been a train crash in Cleveland, Ohio. So the same way, what you're doing is picking up that same accent as the American is speaking. This will help you in your interview, they'll say, wow, they're speaking like an American. And it will help you when you to speak to the people at your university where you're going to go to study. When you're speaking to them on the phone, the international student department, your own department you're going for, whichever department you're dealing with, that it will help you in your communication on the phone. Then when you get on the plane, if you sit next to an American, they can understand you, you can understand them because you've been listening and practicing a long time. And then finally, when you arrive at your point of destination, the airport, and the representative from the university or college comes to meet you, then immediately that you can begin speaking to them with an American style, and they feel comfortable, you feel comfortable, and then they take you to the university, and you're talking with your classmates, and you're talking with the professors, and all are very comfortable because you prepared yourself by watching U.S. news and practicing the U.S. pronunciations and style. So this will be very valuable to you for your future. Then again, we want to make sure that your finances are set. Everything, every document you have about your what the scholarship that you're receiving, you have a document on that. Any bank loans, any savings, and any annual income, those things, all the things, land holdings, everything, have it. This will make you confident to say, we have it all, sir, to cover my education. Who's sponsoring you? Well, I have a 40% or 50% scholarship, sir. I have a bank loan of 10,000 or 10 lakh. I have my parents have a savings of 40 lakh that and all that, and then my parents are having annual income of this amount. My brother is also helping. He has annual income of this, and and he asks you, do you have documentation to prove this? And you say, yes, I do, sir. And so you have that in your file. If he asks for it, he won't ask for it, but he wants to know you're confident about it. Again, all the interviewers, the officers are trained in seeing if you're speaking the truth. If you're speaking the truth, they can tell it. If you're speaking a lie, they can tell it. And so you need to be very confident. Yes, sir, we have the money. Yes, ma'am, we have everything set in place to cover fully my education. And so important. And then number 4, finally, again, that you want to make sure that you've applied and been invited to a very reputable university or college that has a good ranking, has a good department for the degree in which you're studying. With these things, that you have a very high probability of getting your visa. You're confident yourself. You're exuding that confidence to the officer, and he's excited that you'll be able to study in America. Why do Americans want foreign students? Because the foreign students pay their tuitions, and then the tuitions pay the professors and give them their salaries, and the tuitions pay the U.S. taxes, and so all these things are very helpful to the U.S. economy. And so they are happy for qualified foreign students, sincere foreign students. And so if you are a qualified, sincere foreign student, they are excited about you studying in America. And then what are you going to get out of it? You're going to get, the resources faster than any other country on the planet. You're going to get opportunity to score good marks and get a good degree that will have worldwide acceptance. And so this is going to be a great opportunity for you for your brightest future. Let's talk about Plan B. Let's just say that for some reason or the other that you did not pass on your first interview. Then you need to make a Plan B. When will I take my second interview? And then what questions did they ask me? How did I answer them? What seemed to be lacking? I talked to other people that have been successful. I talked to my instructors and others. What am I missing? What went wrong? And so you'll get that perfected. You make your corrections, and then you set your appointment date for the second interview. All right. If you now we're trying for the first interview. That's the best. Many are getting it on their first interview, and so So that's why we're trying to get you fully prepared for your first interview. Should that fail, then again, you want to quickly get prepared for your second interview. And so see what's lacking. If your academic score is less, then you're trying to figure out some way that to show that you're academically proficient. And so the way you do that is again taking additional courses or having some bridge courses at the university that you're applying to, and showing that you have what's necessary to study in the U.S. And then number two, your English. If your English you feel was lacking, then continue to practice. Take private lessons with a good English teacher, a native English teacher if you can. You can do that in person or online. And then finally, fourthly, make sure that, thirdly, make sure that you have your finances fully documented and in place to cover your full tuitions and living expenses, flights, everything fully covered. And then, fourthly, you want to make sure that you have a good university in which you've applied to, or college. So that the officer can identify that, hey, that sounds like a good one. All right. So, all right. With that said, then I think we're going to be able to get our visas to be able to study in the U.S. All right. It's exciting, Ganesh. That any questions that you might have?
No.
Okay. All right. So a question that was asked yesterday was, what role does the interviewer's mood play? Let's say that he's tired, or he's upset, or he's sick, or whatever. What will that play? Listen, if you're confident that your marks are good and your abilities to study are very good, and your English is very good, and your finances are very good, the university or college in which you're applying are very good, then no matter what mood that the person is, that he's going to see that and feel that, and he's going to give you the check for this is a student getting fully ready to study in America. All right? And so doesn't matter the mood. It matters more your confidence that yes, I prepared myself well, and I'm fully prepared to begin my studies in America. All right, so that's another question that came up yesterday was, what time should I book my appointment? Should it be morning or afternoon? I always try to encourage. It doesn't really matter that if you're confident, but mornings are good. It tend to be a little fresher, and that the officers are also fresher. And so mornings I would suggest, but if you have an afternoon appointment, no problem. Just make sure you're rested well, you're excited and ready to do well in that interview. And so you're exuding that confidence and ability with your communication skills. So this is all very important, and I'm happy to answer more of your questions. That again, we can prepare you in person here in Pokhara, Nepal, or online with any other city on the globe, and so that you contact our office and set up the timing, and we'll get you fully ready. We have American trainers right now, 6 of us that are doing the training currently, and so we're just very excited to be able to train you and get you fully ready for your studies in the U.S. And if you have questions, please let us know those questions. I'm going to take a break just for a moment to get some water, and I'll be right back. So hold on. Would you like some water?
No. All 400 people watching. All of them.
Thank you, Ganesh. Have a great day.
Stay tuned.
All right, Suresh is here.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. Bye.
Bye, Ganesh. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
We got two more slots.
Okay, great.
It's still in the YouTube channel.
Okay, we are on YouTube as well. Check out our YouTube channel. That YouTube channel has got many videos on it that are very informative and helpful to you. That we have many trainers, different trainers on that YouTube channel. So you'll like to see the different trainers, their different styles, how they approach the questions, and how those questions are answered. All right, please come in. Now we have a tourist visa person coming in. So yeah, and his wife. Wow. Okay, good to see you today. All right, so let's go back to preparing for your visa. You want to make sure again that you have your appointment letter and your passport in a clear file. You want to make sure your secondary documents are also in place. That is your annual income and land holdings and things to show that you're coming back to your home country. And you're going for your tourist visa, every bit of evidence that can show that. And then number two, or that you've been granted a 2-week leave or whatever. And then and then you want to arrive at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes ahead of time before the appointment. So when you get there, you can just relax. And so you come in and you show your appointment letter to the security guard at the gate. He lets you come in. He points you to the sitting area at the U.S. Embassy, and so you sit down there and you put your bag down and you put your arms down and you just stretch out your legs and you just relax and close your eyes and begin taking deep breaths. Slowly let it out. Hold it. Eyes closed. Slowly take it in. So when you do this, all the tension's going out, your blood pressure is going down, and you're feeling good. And so you begin to think of the most beautiful place you've ever been. Oh, the most refreshing place, the most relaxing place, and go there in your mind and just relax and refresh. Wow, so nice. Feels so good. So you're there, you're taking the deep breaths, slowly letting them out, taking them in. And then you relax all your muscles from the top of your head. Let all the tension go out from your forehead, from the back of your head. Let it all go, go, go. Let all the tension go out from your eyes. All the tension go out from your cheeks. Relax all your jaw muscles. Completely relax. Let your jaw hang limp. Let all the tension go out of your neck. Let all the tension go out of your shoulders and back. Let all the tension go out of your upper arms. Let all the tension go out of your lower arms. All the tension go out of your hands and fingers where your arms are hanging completely limp. Let all the tension go out of your lower back and out of your stomach. All the tension going, gone. Let all the tension go out of your upper legs. Let all the tension go out from your lower legs. Let it all go out from your feet and toes. Go, go, let it all go. Where you're fully relaxed. You're thinking that most beautiful place you've ever been. And keep taking nice, deep breaths. Oh, wow. And then the security person will tell you it's your turn. And so you hop up, stretch out, and you go to the window and you show your passport and your appointment letter, and they give you your badge to go in, the security. And so you pin it on, go through security, and then you go through the hallway, and then you come into the main lobby, and the security there will point you to the main hall where the interview will take place. Go in that hall, hand the security guard your appointment letter, and he'll ask you to take a seat. Take a seat, and again, you do the relaxation exercises relax from the top of your head to the sole of your feet, and think of that most beautiful place, and take deep, relaxing breaths, and slowly, and then you'll hear your name. And when you hear your name, you jump up and they'll say, please go to window number 7 or number 6, whichever window it will be. And so you quickly get a smile on your face and you get your eyes nice and ready. And you go up with a nice smile right to the window, march up, shoulders back, very confident, and say, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am, depending on the time. And then they'll begin to speak to you. Please give me your name.
My name is
Hari Chandra Timosina. Okay. And what is your name?
My name is Indu Bandari.
Indu
Indra Bandari.
Indra Bandari with Timosina. Indra. First name again, sir? Hari. So Hari and Indra. Okay, so welcome, Hari and Indra, and today we're going to ask you a few questions regarding your visa application. Why do you want to go to America, Hari?
I want to go America for practice.
Okay, okay. Indra, why do you want to go to America?
I also want to go to America for my vacation purpose.
Okay,
And I'm very extremely excited about this opportunity.
okay, very good, Indra and Hari. And how long do you plan to stay in the U.S.?
I plan to stay in the US
15 days.
2 weeks.
Okay. Indra, how long will you be staying in the U.S.?
I will also stay there only 2 weeks.
2 weeks time. Okay. And what will you be doing in the U.S., Hari?
I'm traveling to many cities.
Okay.
New York, Washington, DC, and
Okay. All right. And how much time will you be spending in each city, Hari?
I'm traveling. I want to spend America 1 week.
1 week in New York City. Okay.
And 1 week in Washington.
1 week in Washington, D.C. Okay. Very good. And Indra, what will you be doing when you go to the U.S.?
I will visit different places.
You visit.
As with my husband.
Okay. Very good. And how long? In which cities?
New York and Washington.
New York and Washington. How long will you spend in each city?
1 week.
1 week in each city. Okay. And do you have friends or family living in the U.S., Hari?
No.
Okay. Indra, do you have any friends or family living in the U.S.? Okay. And do you plan to look for a job while you're in the U.S., Hari?
No, because I'm a banker in Nepal and I have opportunity in my Nepal for my profession.
Okay. Do you plan to look for a job while you're in the U.S.,
No,
Indra?
I'm a teacher here in Nepal, so that I'm not planning any job here.
Okay. All right. How much will your trip cost, Hari?
I have planned $20,000 for each.
$20,000. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for each of
$40,000.
40,000. And do you have that much in savings?
Yes, I have saved the money for this.
Okay. And do you have the documentation to show that, Hari?
Yeah, I'm hoping so you will take the bank statement.
Okay. And Indra, how much will this trip cost you?
So it will be $40,000 for 2 weeks.
Okay. And how will you pay for that, Indra?
I'll pay for kids, my general.
So you have savings?
And
Yes.
I
Okay.
have lots of savings, sufficient amount of savings, so that I'll pay for that.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Very good. And then have you ever been to the U.S. before, Hari?
No.
Have you ever been to the U.S. before,
No.
Indra? Have you ever broken any laws? Have you ever broken any laws, Indra? Have you ever been addicted to drugs or alcohol, Hari?
No.
Have you ever been addicted to drugs or alcohol? Okay. What are your plans after your time in the U.S., Hari? What are your plans after you return from the U.S.?
I'm joining my house after from US. Complete my vacation after US. Then I will join my job.
Okay, very good. Indra, what are you planning to do after your tour of the U.S.?
After completing the tour, I will join my job.
Great. Okay. Hari, are you going on a package tour or are you arranging the tour yourself?
I'm going for myself.
Okay. All right. Indra, are you taking a package tour or?
No.
Okay. And what will you plan to see while you're in New York?
I think there is a good sightseeing for different places.
Yeah.
So that I'm extremely excited about the city.
Have you researched that? The sites to see there in New York?
Yeah, I have some sort.
And Washington, D.C.?
Yes, I have some sort for sightseeing.
Okay. And Indra, have you done research on the places you hope to visit in Washington, D.C. and New York City?
Yes, sir, I have some research, some different places to explore.
Okay. All right. What is one place you hope to see in New York?
New York. I don't know.
Okay. What something you hope to see in Washington, D.C.? Okay. All right. Let's ask a few more questions regarding. Do you have children?
Yes, I have one child.
Okay. Will your child be joining you on a trip, Indra?
No.
And Hari, who is your daughter staying with?
My mother is take care of my child when we travel.
Okay. And so your mother is there at home with
My
you.
mother is at home and she will travel with my daughter.
Okay, fine. Okay, and how can you convince me that you're coming back to Nepal and not going to stay in America?
Yeah, I'm also I'm management of my bank and I have a lot of opportunity in my bank and I have 14 years work experience in my bank, so that I have a lot of work, I have a lot of responsibility for my bank, which my bound to that I can return back to Nepal for my first family. So, my work, my children, and my society. Yes, I am also doing my social environment programs in my area.
Okay. Okay, Indra, how can you convince me that you're coming back to your home country?
Yes, sir. I'm a teacher. I have been working here since 8 years, so that I have lots of opportunity here. My responsibility towards my family, so that I'm not going to stay here. I will be return back to my home country.
Hari, why should I give you a visa today?
I'm traveling for my own that's what exact answer I
Very sincerely. Okay, and honestly. Okay, Indra,
Yes.
why should you be given a visa today?
Um, Honestly, sir, I will return back to my own country. There is lots of responsibility as a mother of a child, and I have to take care of my family also. I'm a daughter-in-law. I have lots of responsibility,
All right. Based on the answers that you've given to the questions today, I'm happy to award you your visa to visit the U.S. Okay, so you should let's to talk about if you're planning to try to get a tourist visa to the U.S. Again, many people have in the past come on tourist visas and then jumped from their tourist visa and stayed illegally in America, taken jobs away from American citizens, and so the U.S. is very wary against that these days, and so the interviewer is going to make very careful. He's going to watch your eyes, your face, to make sure you're telling the truth, that you're going only for a vacation and or only for a conference, and that you're coming back to your home country. And so that has to be very confidently, truthfully shared with the officer and to convince him. And so if you can convince him of that, then you'll get your visa. And so again, the U.S. is happy to have qualified, sincere tourists who are going to maintain the rules regarding their visa, not break any U.S. laws, not take away U.S. citizens' jobs, and so that but they're happy to have them because again, the money again helps the U.S. economy. So and it gives again the person's traveling to the U.S. a wonderful experience. And so it'll be a good experience, I think, for Hari and for Indra to be able to go to the U.S. and see two of the cities there and have a good time in their experiences there. Researching about the places where you're going and what you'll be doing exactly. If you're going for a conference, that you want to make sure you research that conference. What's it all about? What value does it have to you as a person, with your profession, or with your future, or with your society, and then your organization, whatever. And then if you're going to visit, just do sightseeing, then you need to see what places do I want to see? What are some beautiful places, and what day will I go here? What day will I go there? To plan out your trip very nicely. And so sometimes a professional's guide service can help with that. It's not necessary always, and it's an extra expense, but it does sometimes is helpful that you have someone professional to help you with it. And so Hari and Indra are good candidates. Both of them are professionals, and so they have a strong ties back to their home country, and no reason to jump. They're already settled. They already have family here, children here, and so young children. So it's not likely that they're going to break the visa rules of any kind. A reminder that if you break the rules one time in the U.S., that can forfeit your full life being able to visit the U.S. again. So you want to obey the rules, you want to obey the laws of the country, and to prepare yourself. Your English, again, you want to be able to be understood when you travel to the U.S. and you want people to understand you, or you want to understand others, and you want them to understand you. And so practicing your U.S. English. The best way to do that, I think, is to watch the U.S. news every day and listen carefully to what the news broadcaster is saying. And so you're watching the news, and the newscaster says today that President Joe Biden visited the Air Force graduation. And so you pause it. Today, President Joe Biden visited the Air Force graduation. And so just the way that the news broadcaster said it, you say it. You practice developing that same accent, the same way they opened their mouth and said the words. You repeat it back the same way. And so you're developing that American style of communication. And so people can understand you better if you do that. And you can understand what they're saying if you're listening to it continually. So can watch the U.S. news every day, pause it, repeat it back into your mirror, and try to make it identical sound and identical style. And so this will be very valuable for your travels to the U.S., for your communication with people in the U.S. And so it's good. And your interviewer will be impressed with your American sounding English when you do your interview. So I think this is a great opportunity. All right, so it's been great talking with Hari and Indra today, and great helping them get ready for their application for the or their visa interview. And so, any questions that you have, Hari?
Apart from the previous conversation,
Okay.
Ali is
Okay, so your voice needs to be loud and clear and slow. And so when you say, my name is Hari Prasad, and then you need to say it slowly. Hari Chandra, I mean, Hari Chandra Timosina. My name is Hari Chandra Timosina. Very good. Excellent. Good. Very good. A little louder.
My voice is that short, follow small when I child.
Yes. Okay. So then that means you need to make extra effort. If we have that's no problem. Many people have a slider voice, a smaller voice, and so that's no problem. But it is when you do your interview, you want to make sure that you're heard. Now, above you at the embassy, at the window where you go under, there's like a hood thing, it looks like a lampshade almost above you, and the purpose is to pick up sound. It picks up just like a microphone there above you, so it's picking up the sound, so you can be understood more easily. But at the same time, you want to make it as loud and clear and slow as you can, so they can understand you. My name is Hari Prasad Timosina.
My name is
Oh, yeah, Hari Chandra Timosina. Yeah.
My name is
Very good, very good. I'll say so. Practice your voice. Practice speaking it, and then you want to exaggerate. You want to talk like you're talking to a crowd. My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
Perfect, perfect.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
Very good, perfect. Now he'll understand that perfectly.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
Very,
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
very good, very good. Excellent.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina. I live in Pokhara, Wisconsin.
Excellent.
Nepali.
Yes, yeah. That's fine. And so again, so that's that you want to make yourself very audible and understandable. And so loud and clear and slow. My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
Very good. Excellent.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
Very good. So that your officer that's interviewing will understand that very clearly when you broadcast it like that. Yeah. And so try everything that you say like you're speaking it to a crowd. Yeah.
My name is Hari Chandra Timosina.
Yeah. What cities do you hope to visit, Hari? What places will you visit in the U.S.?
I visit in U.S. New York and Washington.
Okay, so you want to practice looking right in the eye and say, I plan to visit New York City and Washington, D.C., sir.
I plan to New York and Washington, D.C.
Sir.
Sir.
Yeah. Sir or ma'am. If it's
Sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I plan to New York and Washington, D.C., sir.
Okay, excellent. Good. So that's very loud and clear. So that's good. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that our voices are loud and clear, can be understood easily by the officer, and then we need to be listening carefully to his questions. We don't want to answer more than what he says. Do you have children? And you say, yes, I have one child, and then you don't want to say they're in the second grade and they're scored they're first in the class. We don't have to say all that. And so what we just say, I have one child, sir, or one child. And so they only are going to ask questions for about 2-3 minutes. And because they have a long line of people. And so they're not going to ask a long time questions. So you want to give short answers, clear answers as you can, just what they ask you. You don't want to give additional. Sir, which cities are you going to visit? New York City and Washington, D.C. Okay, and so don't say we're going to go on a tour of the Statue of Liberty and then see. Don't say that unless he asks you the questions. When he asks you more, then answer more. But don't answer more unless he asks you. Only answer what the question is asked. So remember, you don't want to. He needs to ask you 4 or 5 questions. and so to determine if you're qualified or not. And so answer those questions very confidently and sweetly and clearly, and uh, and uh, and so with a few words, not too many words. Yeah.
One more question.
Yes.
Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Do you think that we are more qualified for US to
I think you are if you're both.
because honestly, we are planning to only visit
Yeah.
America.
Okay.
Not stay in America.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah.
only live 15 days for only just,
So just answer the questions confidently and honestly, and then they can see that. And so, and you have your savings already in place for it, and they ask you, do you have this money? Is it documented? That da 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 da. And if you're telling the truth, he can tell it. If you're confident about it, and so all these things that he's going to be asking you questions and looking to see if you're telling the truth. And,
another question. What about bank balance? Just my own account or my wife account or my own account?
Okay, so again, he doesn't need to see it so much as he needs to know you have the money. So
Because this question I have seen that because of this, because I'm a branch manager, bank manager,
yes,
there is no transaction from my account. Only I have only salary account.
yes, okay. You have
Bank doesn't did not give any rights to be transacted in other account.
yes,
Only salary account.
yeah,
That salary account only transacted only salary purpose,
yes, right.
not other purpose.
That's
If
fine.
I have a transaction order for another transaction order purpose, then I have to use my family business account.
Okay, yeah,
Also
understood.
my wife and my mother.
Right,
Till now, I'm transacting my mother's account from mother's,
right.
not my.
That's your account. Okay.
That's purpose. How embassy convinced me that you have
How to convince
Okay.
how to convince embassy because
Okay.
I
Now,
have not only one salary account. I have a lot of accounts in another bank, but I have not transacted that account.
okay.
Only that I have saving from only saving purpose. But since
Is it in your name, your mother's name, your wife's name? In your name,
that
the
I
savings?
saving as my mother's
In
account is a saving
Okay.
purpose and saving. When I got my salary, then I give out to it.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Because my mother transits each and every transaction
She's good with
from
that.
one
Yeah.
single account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
then I have done on my salary account. I have done only for my own needs,
Right. Okay.
pocket money.
So the main thing he's going to ask you: how much money are you planning? Have you budgeted for your trip, and do you have that money? So that's what his concern is, and he's going to ask you: do you have that money already saved? Do you have that savings ready for your trip?
How much money do you have to get so the bank?
That again, it depends again on how long your trip is, where you're going. Yeah. Yeah. So again, it has to. I think what you said, 20,000 is sufficient to cover for your trip, and so 20,000.
20,000 for each
Yeah, each person. Yeah, yeah. And so if you have that, that's more than enough. That's like double. Economy trip would be 10,000 per person, and then a luxury trip would be like 40,000 per person. So you have if you have that money, then you don't have to spend that money, but you have that money.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so yeah, more the better. If you have this much, if you have a crore in savings, then sure, we have a crore in savings, sir. It's not going to be a problem.
Can I make that relationship certificate? I'm coming over.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, yeah.
My father,
Yeah.
me, my wife,
Sure.
my child.
Yeah.
Daughter.
Yeah.
The relationship certificate
Yeah.
from my ward office. And
Yeah.
government office.
Yeah.
And so and That's the bank balance. Is my account or my mother's account?
That's okay. It's your, so you can just say that our family has the savings to cover for that. And so how much does your family have in savings? You give the amount. And so that's the beautiful thing. And if you're telling the truth, then he'll ask you, do you have the documents to show this? And so, yes, we do. He'll not ask you to show them, but he'll see if you have them or not. He'll ask you, depending on what your face says to him, that then he'll know whether you have them or not. We call those secondary documents. That's your all your financial things to show that you're capable and of going. Also, you've been given 2 weeks leave from your company. That's your secondary document. And so your first documents are your appointment letter and your passport.
So I have no any property in my name.
Yeah.
All my wife and my.
Yeah, that's fine. It's in the
That's
Tim
my
Messina.
mother's.
Yeah, Tim Messina name.
It is in my mother's.
Yeah.
I have.
That's fine. You can say my family. My family. Yeah, it's my family. As our family has this much in savings. Our
If
family.
permits or not, I think I actually for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, permits or not. Because
Okay, I
honestly,
remember the big question is how much is it going to cost your trip, and how much money do you have to pay for that? And so if you have well more than the cost is, then they're not worried about it. If you're telling the truth, that they'll pick up right on that immediately. If you're wondering, I hope I have enough or I don't have enough, then immediately they'll pick up on that. And so just make sure you have enough to cover your trip and savings in place. Have some documents to show that, and have that just in your file, and just bring that along with you. And then he'll ask you, how much will it cost you? Do you have this money? And can you show that you have this money? And if you're positive on all those things truthfully, then he won't look at your papers. He's already sees it in your eyes. Yeah. And so that's the beautiful thing about it, because they don't have time to look at papers. They have 2 to 3 minutes for every person. So they look at your eyes and your face and say, and see the papers there. So that's the beauty of it. All right. So you want to make sure again that you have your current valid passport with at least 6 months validity left on the passport. Most all countries are requiring you have your passport's good for at least 6 more months before it expires. Are both of your passports good? Okay. Then if just for the audience, if they ask you, have you traveled before to the U.S. or to other countries, that you want to maybe, if that's in your old passport, bring your old passport along with you. But in your case, you've only traveled to India, I think. Is that correct? Yeah. And you don't need travel to India, you don't need a passport. So it's not necessary. This is like, have you traveled to Europe before, or America before, or Canada before? So yes, we did. When did you travel? 2010, we traveled. Your passport, you have that you have your old passport to show that. Yes, we do. So if you have an expired passport that shows travel, that's good. Okay, your intended travel itinerary for your U.S. trip. And so you need to have your flights lined up from New York to Washington and show that this is, you have that document anyhow. You show when you're traveling traveling by train or by flight or whatever. You need to have your tickets, things, you need to have your hotel bookings. You need to have those things shown in place ahead of time. Yeah. So that's your intended travel itinerary for U.S. trip. Then the proof of funds to cover the entire cost of trip, bank statements, proof of assets, etc. So you have all those things. Proof of strong ties to your home country, your letters from your companies, and your leave that's been given from your school and from your bank to show that. Employment proof, and those things are necessary. Then your national ID.
Can I ask?
Yes.
My bank 10 days for sleep, and I order 16, 17, and order 1 week.
Yeah.
at this time, when we visit US, I will take 15 days.
Yes.
My bank give me that 15 days later. But order is that visa of officer of to immediate concern.
Yes. Yes.
This is to separate that our branch manager or our staff, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
And it's
That's fine. Yeah.
That,
Perfect.
that only categorize only.
Yeah. That's fine.
That's fine or not?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that documents that they've given you leave for that amount of time, and you're coming back. So that's good. Yeah. So again, he's not going to look at the paper; he's going to look in your eyes. So then you need your national ID number issued by your home country. That's, I guess, your passport number, or is there do you have a national ID number in Nepal? Yeah. Okay, so you need to supply that, perhaps.
The citizenship card.
Yeah, something like that.
Citizenship card.
Yeah. And then your recent digital photograph that meets the U.S. government guidelines. So the passport photo, you need one of those. Yeah. And the proper size, U.S. Yeah, the face has to be the proper size inside that photo thing and everything. So, yeah. All right. Then a printed copy of your visa interview appointment letter, and that's what you online. You set up your appointment, print it out, and so you have a copy of that. And then a printed copy of your DS-I-60 confirmation page. Okay, that's for your. That's if you're invited to a study. Yeah, optional invitation from a host. Okay, if you have a host inviting you for conference or something relative, then you have that as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Then to make sure now that you know where you're going in New York City and where you're going in Washington, D.C., and get your booking set for, you can book online for those things and for your stays, your hotels, and for your travel during that time. Yeah, you can get a travel agent to help you here in Portland.
If we are not travel agent friends, we serve our friends
Yes.
or stay at their time.
Uh-huh.
How can we?
He said that when he is there,
Yes.
and then spend, can we
Okay, so
say that about friend or not?
yeah, you can say so they're going to ask you, do you have any family or relatives, and you can say, no, I have friends there in New York, and I will be staying with them. So I'm visiting friends in New York and in Washington, D.C.
If this is that, how you book hotel, how you book them?
Yeah.
Can we say that our friend will guide us?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So just tell the truth about it. That that our friend is taking care of our full travel program, and so that he'll be taking us.
When give us that certificate
No, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just say that I have a friend in New York City, and so then they may ask you, what is your friend's name, and then you give the name, and where does he live, and you give the place where he lives, and so and then he'll say, how long has he been living in the U.S. Your friend been living in the U.S. and is he a citizen of the U.S. and so then is your friend a citizen of the U.S.? He is DV. Okay, so he's he's in process of becoming a citizen. And how long? When did he get his DV visa? Diversity visa.
2009.
2009 or 10. So he must be a citizen by now. But double check. So my friend is a U.S. citizen and from Nepal who came to in the U.S. on a diversity visa, and he will be guiding us in New York City and in Washington, D.C. Okay, just tell the truth about it. So yeah, and so they'll see if you're telling the truth, and it's not a problem for them that you have a friend there. It's not It is a little bit of a problem if you have relatives there because they think that you may stay with the relatives, and so it's good your friend came on he's not a legal immigrant. He came on a diversity visa, and he has a U.S. citizenship by now, and so that should be fine then in their eyes. So yeah. So any other questions you have? Okay. Well, you've done well today, and I hope to see you then tomorrow. Yeah. Or not tomorrow. See you on Wednesday next week. I'll be back. So I've got to go out for some days. So I'll not be here tomorrow, but I'll be back next Wednesday. Yeah. When is your visa application? When's your visa interview? Okay, there's plenty of time. So we just keep practicing to where you're perfect with it. Okay.
What we have planned that Japanese festival, Basen, yeah.
Basen, yeah.
Yes.
YouTube doesn't, yeah.
Okay.
Because Basen is our main festival.
Yeah.
And here also second main festival.
Right.
And that we'll take a vacation leave.
Yes.
In between days.
Yeah. Why?
10 to 15 days gap in Basen, yeah.
Yeah.
She have also
I will also get a
Get-
vacation.
Yes.
vacation
Yeah.
in that time in full 1 month
Yes.
in school.
Yes.
At that time, I will also take that. I'll also take that holiday in that time.
Yeah. Well, that's a wise time to travel.
We make our own vaccine time in
Yeah.
own time.
That's very good. That's a good plan. Yeah.
So that October is not
And we have to postpone it
October
till all year.
earlier also.
Yeah. So you're planning to travel in October. So
Not
yeah.
postpone this. All year.
check your dates and then set your appointment 2 to 3 weeks before that.
We will get the
Yeah.
we have planned. But I think my expectation is that I'm honestly to say that I am
Genuine person.
Yes, yes.
I thought
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. You don't have to say it. You just answer the questions.
Question.
Yeah.
that
And then they can see it in your eyes. So.
they trust me or not,
Yeah,
they trust
yeah.
us or not,
Yeah.
that I am genuine or not. But I am genuine for this.
Yeah. So all the
I'm not getting overconfident, but I think so.
Yeah. So the officers are been trained for days and days of training to detect whether a person is telling the truth or lie. And they're tested. People come in and they test them on different questions, and so they become very expert on telling and being able to determine if a person's telling the truth or not. And so they're experts on it. Every officer that interviews you, he's gone through hundreds of tests to prepare himself to see if you're telling the truth. If he's telling the truth, he
My
can see.
thought is that, and I think is that I've never let me down, disappointed with that officer or that
Yes.
when I stayed there in US. That's also count in that initial. When I stayed there, these are disappointed them for
Yeah.
Were you staying in 14 days? Here in US?
Niras no Niras no
Nirash, disappointment. Yeah. Yeah.
The genuine sorrow.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Will not disappoint you, sir. Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, sounds great. Yeah. And so look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. Take care.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
see you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, most welcome, Hari. Most welcome.
See you.
Okay, so there you have it with a couple that's planning to visit the U.S. on the U.S. tourist visa. And so again, we're some people come to us to help prepare for that. Suresh Ji, what do you have for us?
All right. We don't have. We are going to actually just have a video session right now on YouTube.
Okay.
You tell them that we're on YouTube. They don't know. Many they don't know on YouTube actually.
Okay, yeah. So if you're watching on TikTok, you can go ahead and go to our YouTube channel. Go to Beyond Education Consultancy and find our YouTube channel, and you can begin to watch dozens of of good videos to give you more information on how to pass the U.S. visa interview, and so we're going and also for your IELTS ID, the IELTS training, and other things. So this is going to help you out a lot. So I encourage you to check out our YouTube channel. We're going on YouTube right now, so you can switch over to YouTube. It'd be awesome. Okay.